welcome back. I just wasn't certain. I wasn't certain if we were going to be switching to another server, but yes, we are actually going to be playing on the Korean server. I mean, this is the Asia server qualifiers, so players, they do have priority on their server of choice. So here we go. We're going to be jumping into game one of our fresh best of 5 qualifying match. And spawning in the right hand corner of ley lines, we have our South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Team Vitality. It is Zoun. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the red Protoss player from land of Poland, representing Streamer Zone. It is Gerald. Here we go. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It's Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series, who you believe will be the next player to qualify for the RSL. Oh boy. Here we go as I quickly set up the player names. Bam. I got you covered. Yes, congratulations to Shin. Shin, he will join Percival and Cham as qualified players for the RSL, and we're about to determine our next player. As a reminder, there are still European qualifiers, so if Gerald fails to qualify, Zoun as well, whoever fails to qualify, they will have another chance in the European qualifiers. The problem, as I mentioned, is that it is a European server qualifier, so because of that, the Koreans that do decide to play in it will have to play on the European server. Like Europeans, they have prioritization to force EU server when they play against Koreans for a server qualifier. So they can force that. So there's going to be a further obstacle there for the Koreans that do try to play in the European qualifier. So best of luck. Likewise, it would be that much more impressive if Gerald were to be able to win this on the Korean server. Let's go. Would be that much more impressive. For now, we have our initial 2-gate opener out of Gerald. Likewise, 2-gate opener out of Zoun. So far, so good. Do you have mirrored openers? But yeah, when it comes to online events, like Wardy is still hosting big monthly online tournaments, and of course we do have the OSC mid-season playoffs that just began this week, or last week I suppose, which MaxFax is also playing in. Likewise, we also have the Pigsty Festival, which wrapped up last week as well. Like, there's a lot of big online events that are occurring to continue to compete in, even if you're not playing in offline events, which is, you know, MaxFax's bread and butter. But for now, we're selling into a different PvP. For now, we have our 2-gate opener into our natural. And meanwhile, pylon blocker across the map, delaying the natural base of Zoun quite heavily, actually. So Zoun, he will have a later economy. Likewise, Geralt, he will have the faster natural. So far, so good. Oh, it's on Zoun to try to punish. The shield battery is still halfway done. Zoun hoping to pick off the shield battery, hoping to pick off a stalker. Very delicate micro here from Zoun. Gets a probe. Oh. Gets a probe, but the shield battery does complete. And with that, Geralt holds. Geralt, he does hold on. Does defend. I say that more stalkers have arrived. Behind this, both players taking up into a Twilight Council into Blink. So Blink from Zoun, likewise Blink from Geralt as well. Getting to Blink Stalkers. Pass the Robo out of Zoun. Getting into the faster Robo, both players that do back off. We do have extra gateways on the way from Geralt, and we'll see if he throws down like a 4th gateway, and if he delays his 3rd. Otherwise from here we should be expanding. As Geralt, he does get across the map, threatening a shade. Oh, he does get in. Yeah, probe is out of position, shades into the main base, 2 second one-shot workers, boys are being pulled, so far getting 1, getting 2, and should be getting up to 3. Nice, very nice force fields. Attempts to get locked down. That could have been so much worse. Nice movement there out of Zoun. He defends. Does defend, does hold on behind this. Third base is on the way for Gerald. Zoun still on 2, going for his Warp Prism. Likewise, he is the one that throws down 2 more gates, so he's going to be getting up to a 4-gate setup, 4-gate Blink Stalker out of Zoun, delayed third base from our blue Protoss, and it will soon push. And it's going to be Gerald defending. He has to figure out what's going on. Double Force Field, sorry, double Hallucination, double Phoenix, and Gerald is looking for the expansion, and he will confirm no Nexus. Yeah, no Nexus here at the third base location. Likewise, sees the gateways at the natural. Does spot the gateway. Shield battery instantly thrown down. And Gerald, he's up a base, but he's down in army, and here comes Zoun. Zoun rallying everything across the map. How many Stalkers? 12. 12 Stalkers is down. 8 for Gerald. Of course, Zoun, he has an extra gateway, he has extra warpins, and he has that prism. Oh, let's go. Hallucinations. Gerald trying to tank some shots. Nice target firing here on the sentry. Sentry's going to be going down. Zoun does just have position, does head towards the natural. Avoids a third base, catching out more Stalkers. Gerald trying to collapse in. Stalkers are getting low, but more warpins should be coming in for Zoun. As he's bleeding out some Stalkers. Boys are being pulled. Boys are being pulled so far. Gerald, he's holding on. Shuts down the Stalkers. They're so low. And Gerald, he can take this fight. So many Stalkers falling for Zoun. Oh, he blinked everything. Uh-oh. Does blink everything back. Goes for the dive. Prism. Oh, barely forced back. And Gerald holds. Gerald, he holds on. Impressive defense here. He shuts down the Prism. Shuts down the Stalkers. Again, we had some miscontrol, some rough blinks there from Zoun, blinking the entire army. And Gerald, he did have to pull the boys. He did lose some probes, but it was worth it. Remember, he's up a base. He can afford to lose some workers here. He's up an expansion. He's up a base. Gerald, he does hold on. Impressive defense. Likewise, that shield battery also came into play. And Gerald, from here, he can take a worker lead. He can try to. Zoun is catching up. Oh,
paused.
As we do have a bit of a pause. Hopefully everything's okay, as we do have a big spike here for Gerald. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, big lag spike. Does happen. So we're more than happy to wait it out. Thankfully, it's a lag spike after the fight as well. Is after the fight. When it comes to the game state here, both players are on 3 bases. Zoun has a 1 probe lead, but again, Gerald, he's catching up. When it comes to upgrades, there's no forge. There's no forge for either player, so there's no like upgrade lead in that way, that kind of direction. Oh,
Game resumed.
there we go. So stepping back in. We are stepping back in. Charge is slightly faster for Gerald. Forge on the way for his down for +1. Gerald, he has yet to go for his own forge. But that is a gateway explosion. We'll see what the plan is. For now, both players are staying on a lower gas count. 3 gases for Gerald. Likewise, I believe 3 gases for Zoun as well. So both players staying on a lower gas counts. Charge on the way. Gerald the first to expand, getting a 4th. Zoun not too far behind, looking for his own. And we're stabilizing. After the aggression from Zoun, we're stabilizing. There is going to be a window in time where Zoun has +1 and Gerald is going to have +0. So there is a small like window here where potentially Zoun can also go for a +2 timing as well. We just can't. We did. Oh, yo, we're just going all in. Okay. Sorry, we just canceled the forge. So 0 upgrades, no forge. Gerald, he's going to commit instead. He's moving out. He's moving out. He's going for the all in. No upgrades. Just mass charge slots. Both players did expand, but this is a fake 4th base for Gerald. As he's pushing. Prism towards the main. 4th base under fire. Cells, they have arrived already. Charge is done. Zoun needs a little bit more time for those warp-ins. There's a cancel. And Gerald, he ignores the fourth. He's going for the kill. He's going for the kill. He's going for the throw. He's all in. Does dive in, takes down the cannon. Collapsing on top of their stalkers, going for the pylons as well. And he will focus them down one after the other. Meanwhile, Zelts are across the map. They're getting into the mineral lines. Gerald, he defends back at home. And Gerald, he does it. He does it. He breaks the main army, gets a full surround, takes out every single stalker. And Zelts, sure, they're across the map, but they're not doing enough. They're not doing anywhere near enough. The force base finished, but the force base doesn't matter. Not anymore. As Gerald, he does beat out 11 probes back at home, but he does defend. There's 22 probes going down. Gerald, he should have done it by... I mean, this should be enough. Cleans up all the zealots, does reinforce, kills the third base, will lose his own fourth base, but again, Zoun should lose 2 expansions here, the third and the fourth. And maybe even more than that. Gerald pulling back. Pulls back to the Nexus. Zoun can't really engage here. Let's get the hell out of here. I mean, Gerald, he can just go for the kill. He can just go for the kill. He can go for the main army. You get with 1,000 ping. Who needs ping, Pappy? Who needs it? Ay, ay, ay. Apparently, Gerald, he has plenty of it. True, true. As he takes down the northern base, kills the fourth. Zoun, he's stuck on 2 bases, and he's going for the base trade. Yeah, Zoun, he commits to the base trade, but Gerald, he recalls back home. Good call. Remember, all that Gerald has to do is defend. Just defend the third. Easier said than done. The base is under fire. Probe is going to be going down. But Gerald, again, he's somewhat in position. Does respond. Prism does fall. A messy defense here out of Gerald. Is messy. Does defend. And GG gets called. He defends. He's up at base. And Gerald takes game number 1. Whew. GG. Gerald does take a lead in the series. Again, Gerald, he was able to take a lead after he defended against the all-in of Zoun. So a very impressive defense by Gerald. And then he made the last-second decision to cancel the Forge and commit into his own counter all-in, where he was able to catch Zoun out of position, off guard. When I say out of position, if you remember, Zoun, instead of warping in Zealots at home, he was getting ready for a Zealot drop into the bases. So that is supply that wasn't at home to defend, and because that Zoun, he was overwhelmed. He did try to hold on to his third base, but he was just shut down completely there. Gerald, with that, takes a lead. Does take a lead. And again, 1 step closer to qualifying. Whew. Oh, yo, we got some indie fans in the chat. Let's go. The turkey himself. Shema, papi, Shema. As we're getting into game 2. And again, an impressive start here out of Gerald. And we'll see how our players, how Zoun adjusts. If at all. Here we go. As we are getting into our next game, as we're going to be loading into Tokamak. Now, Tokamak, of course, is one of the larger maps on the map pool, known for more longer and later games, but in a PvP, you don't really care as much about how large the map is. Just because of the warp-in mechanic, you can still commit to a proxy early on and go for a 1 base all-in, or commit to proxies later on and commit to more aggression on 2, 3 bases. So we'll see how our players do adjust. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of a Tokamak, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Team Vitality down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back and make a series out of this. It is Zoun. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Red Protoss player, the Red Protoss himself, representing Streamer Zone from land of Poland. It is Gerald. Un momento. I will set him up. Bam. Beautiful. Again, Gerald, he does lead a 1-0. Despite the ping disadvantage. Happy. He's popping up. Let's go. Here we go. First probe does move out. We're going for scouting information, trying to make sure that there is no proxy, that the pylons are back at home. So far, 2 gate opener out of our red Protoss, and 2 gate opener out of our blue Protoss. So mirrored builds, mirrored openers. Nothing crazy yet. Likewise, Gerald, he's not veering off into the side. He's going for a scout, not a proxy. So both players are scouting. Both players are going to be scouting across the map. Likewise, mirrored builds. There's no hidden proxy, no hidden pylon. They both confirm the second pylon of each other, so they know there's no proxy. And we go for a sentry expand. A greedy build out of Gerald. He skips the second unit, or he delays in favor of a faster expansion. Now, what this means is that this probe cannot pylon block. Zoun, he cannot pylon block on the low ground. He is going to be forced in. Meanwhile, speaking of pylon blocking, that's exactly what Geralt is doing. Geralt is here on the low ground, being as annoying as possible. There's a pylon block. Does get it down, and oh no! Ooh, will lose the probe. The probe does fall, but Geralt, he should be able to cancel and expand. Does let the Stalker finish. Does let it finish. The pylon also does complete as well. So Gerald, he does lose a pylon, a skill zone shield battery, and there's the expansion. Both players, they get their bases at the same time. Both players do expand. Zoun moving out. He moves out with his 2 stalkers. And it's going to be on Gerald to buy time for his shield battery. So buy time. There's the NG overcharge. Stalkers, they poke in. They poke in. Got to be zoned away. Shield battery is done. And Hallucination gets a full scout. It's going to be a Twilight Council opener out of Zoun. Twilight Council out of Geralt. Both players at the same builds, same follow-up. Blink, expand. So far, looking the same. Looking solid. No major damage yet. We do see Zoun trying to poke in with his Adepts. Technically, Geralt did lose more. He did lose a pylon. Did lose the pylon. Oh, Gerald trying to catch up. Oh my god, very nice force fields. They were nice until the very end. That final force field, oof, was lackluster. Did not catch that. I mean, that should have been a dead Adepts. I think that's an example of the ping affecting the game. Where in an ideal scenario, I feel like Gerald would have force fielded and would have locked down the Adept. It was like half a second too late. So players are building up. Ooh, Gerald going for the proxy pylon. Uh-oh. We're setting up for the proxy. Setting up for a reinforcement point. Speaking of, 4 gates on the way. This is the same build as last game. Remember, last game, Zoun, he delayed his third base for 4 gate Blink Stalker with his Prism, with his Robo. Same build. Same build once again. Essentially a 2 base all-in. Now, if you remember, last time Zoun did go for a later third, but he still did commit quite hard, but he failed to break Gerald. Meanwhile, Gerald is going for his own aggression. He's doing the same build. We have we have almost mirrored builds. I say almost. This is 4 gate Blink Stalker. This is not 4 gate Blink. Ooh, as we did have a big lag spike there. This is 5 gate Blink. So Gerald is going for a 2 base all-in, 5 gate Blink Stalker. Zoun is going 4 gate Blink with a Robo with a Warp Prism. So Zoun is going to have less Stalkers, but he will have the advantage of the Prism. But I am seeing some frame drops here. This is not on my side. I am just double checking. That might be the player latency affecting the game here. But so far, Zoun, he does push in. Does push in. So far, Gerald, he does take down the sentry. Takes down the sentry, trying to make a stand. So far, doesn't quite get the other. Again, the 5th gateway is ready. So he does have extra warp pins. He will have extra stalkers. Trying to force his way forward, pushing into a concave though. Yeah, greater concave here for Zoun. And it comes down to the blink control. Zoun's stalkers are getting very low though. Yeah, they're getting low. We go for the dive. Gerald, he breaks through, breaks the main army. Takes down almost every single stalker. Once again, a greater fight here for Gerald. Better blink control, even without the ping. Gerald. He's crazy. Let's go. He likes the ping, Pappy. He likes it. As from here, breaks on through, gets on top of the 3rd. Prism is out for a counterattack. We have DTs. No shot. They're a dark tag. I didn't even notice. And there's no detection. 0 detection. DTs. 1 into the main, 1 into the natural. Gerald, he took some better fights. It was impressive, but DTs, they are here to end the game. As they head into the mineral lines. At the same time, Gerald pushing further in. Defensive DTs. No detection. No shot. Gerald, he played this out so well. Did play this out well. But DTs, the Invisible Man, it's sometimes just too good. 19 probe kills. And again, defensive Dark Templar, 0 detection. Sometimes DTs can just end the game. As we're down to 4 stalkers. Robo gets denied. There's still no way to detect. There's no Stargate, no Robo, no Forge, no nothing. And Zoun, he will fight back. He will tie up the series. Again, even though Gerald took a better fight, even though Gerald did a lot of damage across the map, it doesn't matter. Does not matter. GG gets called, and Zoun, he will fight back. He will put a point on the board. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Zoun, he will tie up the series. Unfortunately, just no way to deal with those Dark Templars. 0 detection out of Gerald. It happens to the best players out there. We've seen Max Packs insta-tap out to DTs. We've seen Hero insta-tap out to DTs as well. It's just sometimes, you know, it is a factor in PvP. And it can end games. And with that, we do have a series. We have a back and forth. Let's go. We have a back and forth. And we're getting into game 3. Now, as a reminder, best of 5. So we have plenty of games ahead of us. This is not the ace match. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. So you're loading into game 3 and spawning in the top left-hand corner. Top left-hand corner here of Pylon, we have the South Green Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Team Vitality. It is Zoun. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Red Protoss player, the Red Protoss himself, from the land of Poland, representing Streamer Zone. It is Gerald. Go. Go as we are going to be settling in. And again, I've been very impressed so far by Gerald's control, specifically his blink control. I feel like that's what shined both in game 1 and in game 2. Game 1, when it came to his, I mean, in both games when it came to his defense, his 4-gate blink stalker defense. Very impressive. He was able to win both fights, both times. Just unfortunate that he had no detection. He had no robo, right? He had no robo, had no observer. But now, though, once again, 2-gate opener out from both players. Once again, mirrored starts. And still no proxy. No shenanigans early on in this series. No proxy, no all in. Welcome 1-0 to Pylon. Pylon is one of the smaller maps in the map pool, shorter rush distance by ground. Zoun, he has gone 4-gate Blink Stalker every game so far, and I wouldn't be surprised if he does it again. Personally, I don't like the idea of going for the same opener and same build like that multiple times in a series, but if you're gonna do it twice, may as well do it 3 times, and may as well do it on a better map as well. So we'll see. We shall see. Specifically compared to Tokamak, the rush distance by ground on Pylon is shorter, so you can reinforce that much faster. Faster reinforcements may not matter though too much, just because Zoun's 4-gate blink does come with a Warp Prism, so you just reinforce anyway with the Warp Prism with Warp Pins. So I guess that doesn't really impact the build as much. Meanwhile, Zoun does let the Pylon finish, does Pylon block, will delay the expansion. Meanwhile, Gerald, he doesn't quite pull off the same build as both players open. Oh my god. Both players go for the Stargate. Both players open Stargate. Gerald is forced to because of the Pylon. Zoun chooses to, as he could have expanded. Okay. Fair enough. Stargate openers. Now, big brain play. If Zoun reads that his opponent went for a faster Stargate, which, I mean, for all he knows, it could be a Twilight Council, so he doesn't quite know, but it'll be big brain if he does open Phoenix. Otherwise, it should just be Oracles. It should be Oracles from both players. Adepts say threaten the shade. Does commit, but there's a full wall. Gerald's going to be hunted down. Likewise, Zoun, he gets into the main, he sees the Stargate, and he does open Phoenix. Let's go, Phoenix opener here out of Zoun. But again, he knows what he's up against. Meanwhile, Gerald, he does go for the Oracle as he has not seen the Stargate. So Gerald doesn't know what he's up against. He's working with incomplete information. And the goal for Zoun is to hunt down the Oracle, to hunt it down, and to shut down the opener of his opponent, and to overwhelm. As more Phoenixes are on the way. Robo follow-up into faster Immortal production. Meanwhile, Twilight Council follow-up here by Gerald. Going for Blink. As Oracle does move out. Adepts say threaten the shade. Gerald, he's keeping up. He's keeping up. Meanwhile, yeah, the Oracle gets completely shut down. Recall gets spent, Recall gets wasted, and here come the Phoenixes. Now, this should be Phoenix into Immortal production. Yeah, there we go. Immortals are on the way. Now, there's a bit of a give and take. On the one hand, we have Mass Phoenix. That is true. We can use this to harass. On the downside, though, on the other hand, Gerald, he does have Mass Blink Stalker building up. So to make up for the lack of Blink Stalker, Zoun, he needs his Immortals. He needs the Immortals here to support his army, to make up for the lack of Blink Stalkers. Meanwhile, we do see Gerald getting ready for a proxy gateway across the map. How many gates so far? 4. We have 3 at home, a 4th gateway across the map. From here, Gerald, he could just go for a 2-base all-in. I say could because he might just expand from here. Like, 4 gateways doesn't have to be an all-in. You can still expand. As we do wreak havoc here, 6 probes going down. And did I say 4 gates doesn't have to be an all-in? I stand by that. This is not 4 gateways. We have a second proxy. This is a 5-gate. 5-gate setup here. So Gerald, he's just doubling down. It's all or nothing for Gerald. And the thing is that he knows that he has the Stalker advantage. Oh no, he gets found! He gets found out. The proxy's gonna be shut down. Those are 2 gateways being depowered. Ay, ay, ay. From 5 down to 3. Just the only 3 gateways left. That's not enough. Gerald is still moving out. Back at home, we have Shield Batteries finishing up. We have more Immortals backing up as well. Again, that was just a massive catch here from Zoun to find the proxy. Now Zoun has to fight within range of his Shield Batteries. He cannot fight this head on. Does repower the proxy. And Gerald, he doesn't expand. He has a choice. He does not expand. He's going to commit, but it's going to be a delayed all-in out of Gerald. Does take the third, but he's in a rough position. Again, because Gerald went up to 5 gateways, no forge, no upgrades. +1 is on the way for Zoun. Meanwhile, Phoenix, as they force a recall. Oof. Zoun sees the expansion, and he knows he can soon break out. Ay. Jesus. As Zoun, he responds with Jesus. 4 gates. This could have been an expansion. This could have been a third, but no. Zoun, he throws down 4 more gateways. Charge, I believe, is not being researched. Charge on the way for Gerald. There we go. Charge now starting here for Zoun. Getting to his own temple archives. As we said, a big shout out to Jadolf in the chat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jadolf, for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Thank you, Papi. Thank you. Good to see you. Do appreciate it, as always. And welcome one and all to the RSL Asia server qualifiers. We're in the final qualifying match. We just had Shin versus Creator, but now we have Zoun versus Gerald. And this is a best of 5 qualifying match. Stalkers, they go for the dive. Going for the third. Forcing Zoun all in. But remember, Zoun, he did throw down all those gates. He has war pins. Oh, that's a kill. That's a kill, not a cancel. Ay. Gerald, he's popping off. And what's important is that Gerald, he isn't overmaking probes. Like, he's making like 2 probes at a time. Right now, he needs warpins, he needs zealots. Another kill! Wait, was that two kills on the Nexus? Zoun! Gerald's the one with ping? What's going on? Ay. 2 kills back to back. 800 minerals down the drain. Yo, a third kill? Do we go back in? Este, Gerald. Papi, calm down. Zoun pushing right down mid. Gerald, he has been amassing up his own Charger Archon. Zoun is that much more committed, losing the base twice. There's 1 cancel and 2 kills. As they'll say, do trickle in. Archons are ready for Gerald. And Gerald, he's here to shut this down. Zoun rotates in between the bases. But again, given time, Gerald, he will have a larger army. But there's no rush. There's no rush for Gerald. He just has to take it slow. Take it slow. Wait for extra warpins. Gerald flirting with the army. Does commit. Yeah, does commit in. Some of his army isn't quite engaging. Feedback on the Phoenix. Does push forward. But where are those zealots? We need more. Yeah, Gerald, he does need more warpins. As those immortals are doing so much damage in the back line. Gerald, he kites back. Again, he needs more zealots. Gerald pulling away. Yeah, Zoun takes a better fight. I do think that Gerald engaged too soon there. Or he committed too hard, I should say. Boys are being pulled. It's still a rough fight for Gerald. Yeah, his probes are going down. Immortals are somewhat exposed. Still a rough fight. But Zoun may just have too much. Yeah, Zoun, he has too much here. Gerald bleeding out 20 workers. May have killed 2 bases, may have delayed the push. But Zoun, he just has too much here. The army just so tanky, so beefy. GG gets called, and Zoun, he will take a lead in the series at 2-1. Whew, GG. GG, well played. Gerald, I will say that he was in a decent position there, but unfortunately, it wasn't just that he engaged too soon. His engage was also lackluster. If you remember, we did try to point it out, but when he tried to fight the army, he had a bunch of his supply behind the Stalkers. I'm referring to the Archons. I'm referring to a bunch of Stalkers that just weren't fighting. They weren't engaging. They were basically wasted DPS there. The Zealots came in too soon as well. Time was on Gerald's side. Just had to take it a little bit slower there, and in the end, he committed. In the end, GG. GG, well played. Zoun, he does claim it. And now Zoun is 1 game away from qualifying for the RSL. One more game is all he needs. And we'll see if Gerald can recover and force the ace match. Whew, and again, this has been a very intense series as well. Again, I can see a world where Gerald takes that game instead. Even game 2 as well. Like, if it wasn't for the DTs, like, Gerald was also in a commanding position. But let's go. We're jumping in. As a game 4 is going to be on Maganatha. We go. We are getting to Maganatha here. The largest map in the map pool. Oh boy. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Maganatha, we have the South Korean Protoss. They've changed sides. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the blue Protoss, representing Team Vitality, one game away from qualifying for the main event for the Revival StarCraft League. It is Zoun. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player from the land of Poland, representing Streamer Zone. He has to fight back here and now to force the ace match. It is Gerald. Here we go, and welcome one and all to Maganatha. Again, a very large map in the map pool, or the largest even. But we'll see how our players will approach this. So far, setting up on the high ground, Zoun the first to send out his probe. Does send out across the map. And we'll see if either player does cut corners. There we go, 2-gate opener out of Gerald, 2-gate opener out of Zoun. Do you have our 2-gate openers? Zoun disrupting the economy, being as annoying as possible. Gerald moving out with this probe. Skirting around the edge of the map, or I should say through the center, but I's gonna scout. He's moving out for scouting. No proxy from either player this entire series, by the way. I mean, we have seen, we have seen proxies in the mid game, like proxy 4th gate or proxy 5th gate. That has happened from both sides, but we haven't hidden any tech, I should say. And there's been no one base all-ins. Meanwhile, we have our use of choice, going to be Stalker Sentry out of Zoun. Meanwhile, we have Sentry Stalker out of Gerald. Here we go. As I said, Lindsay said, big shout out in the chat. Thank you so much, Barcode, or Lily. Thanks so much, Barcode in the chat. Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime. Hope you enjoy the content. Hope you enjoy the casting. Hope you enjoy the StarCraft. Welcome. Likewise, hope you enjoy the emotes as well. We do, of course, have a set of emotes in the Twitch chat. We also give out replay packs to our subscribers. Replay packs are handed out. 2 tournaments that we have permission to share, of course. There are some tournaments that we don't. For example, KSL, they have their own Patreon, their own replay system. RSL as well, they have their own Patreon, they have their own replay system, so we don't tread on their toes. But thank you so much, thank you. Do appreciate it. As we do have a Twilight Council opener out of Gerald. Working towards Blink, both players are expanding, of course. And Twilight Council out of Zoun. So Blink is on the way. So far, we're just building up, no major deviations yet. Loose Nation does confirm the tech, making sure there's no Stargate. Remember last game we had Stargate openers from both players, which got very chaotic. This time no Stargate. Both players scout, both players confirm. And both players expand. We do have non-stop hallucination scouts. This is also why it's actually quite difficult to hide tech in PvP, just because, especially with the NG overcharge, it is so common to have non-stop hallucinations like this. the scout tech to confirm there's nothing crazy, nothing wild. Despite that, I mean, we have seen instances where DTs do get out of hand. But it's all the more impressive if you are able to hide it and keep it hidden from your opponent. Just because of these hallucinations, you'll see Gerald in position to expand. Again, this is the largest map, so we're a little bit more prone to expanding and macroing and building up into a longer game state. There it is, third base for Gerald. And Zoun, he does fan out his probes, searching for proxies. For those who don't know, with your sentry, if you hallucinate a worker, then you actually make 4 probes. 4 workers are made. The downside is that they are limited by the terrain, unlike hallucination phoenixes, which can just go wherever they want, but you're able to scout and kind of gain ground or gain more ground faster by spreading out and fanning off in 4 different directions to look for proxies. So Zoun confirms there is no proxy. Geralt walling up, knocking down the tower, or knocking down this tower, and securing himself. And we are trying to force the mid game, which we haven't had so far. The games have gotten up to around 3 bases, that is true, but it's been the hyper aggression and non-stop all-ins, basically. We haven't gotten up to a 4-base setup or a 4-base economy. We tried to get there on ley lines, and the game ended real fast and real quick. But both players are expanding, both players are calming down. We're teching up, Forge on the way, Robo as well. Zoun has yet to throw down any upgrades or any tech. He's throwing down extra gateways. Okay. So no charge, no Forge, no +1, a gateway explosion instead. It looks like Zoun wants to be the aggressor, based on what we're seeing. Yep, Prism. Prism's on the way so we can reinforce. So Zoun will soon move out. It's going to be on Gerald to spot this ahead of time, to slow it down, and to defend. As you can see, Gerald is fully saturated on 3 bases. No gases at the natural, which means he's going for a very zealot-heavy composition. Oh no! Bleeds out a Stalker. Meanwhile, Zoun, he does have 1 Stalker at his... Sorry, 1 Gas Geyser at his natural. So going to be reinforcing with extra Stalkers. Adepts are moving into harass. 6 gates on the way for Geralt. Again, just going mass zealots, going for another expansion as well. Shays into the natural. And of course, Zoun commits. Remember, Zoun, he's all in. Zoun, he's only on 47 workers. He's only on half saturation and no probes here at the 3rd, essentially. So 2.5 base all in out of Zoun. The longer this goes on, the worse it's going to be for Zoun. So he has to end the game here and now. Does move in, does that position, he has the high ground. Yeah, Zoun has the high ground, he has a better position, he can head towards the natural. Gerald has to push up the ramp into the Protoss, into Zoun. Oh, Prism does get away, and last are just not enough zealots here. Gerald, he needs more time. Remember, Gerald, he was getting a 4th base. Snipes a Prism, but Gerald is being overwhelmed. He needed more time, needed more warp-ins. Zealots on low, but it's too late. It's too little too late. Zoun, he has done it. He breaks on through. Breaks through the main army. Breaks through the Stalkers. GG, and Zoun, he will take the series 3-1 with the 2.5 base all-in and qualify for the RSL. GG. GG, well played. Gerald, he had the better economy, he had more bases, he was on a lower gas count. Gerald needed a little bit more time to warp in another wave of zealots, but he didn't have that time. Zoun was all in, Zoun was all or nothing. He was able to strike just before the gateways got up and running, just before the warp-ins, and Gerald, he was caught with his pants down. GG. GG, well played. Zoun, he will qualify for the Revival StarCraft League alongside Shin. Congratulations here as we can switch our scenes over and catch up on the brackets. Again, we have our 2 qualified players. It was a bit of a shorter bracket here, but Zoun and Shin have done it. They've made it through. Again, Gerald, shout out to Gerald. He played very well. Even despite the ping disadvantage, Gerald, I can see a world where he could have won game 2 and game 3 as well, to be honest. Like, I can definitely see this going to the ace match or even just going in favor of Geralt. There's some really close and really clutch games, just a couple of minute details that didn't go his way. And again, I'm sure part of that, I mean, you know, your mental state, you're a little bit off center, you're a little bit you know, uncomfortable, of course, by playing out with higher ping on a different server. I mean, it's a server qualifier for a reason, to be fair. You know, it is meant to favor the Koreans, but with that, GG. GG, well played. In the end, Zoun and Shi will make it through, and best of luck to Gerald, because even though he doesn't make it through this qualifier, we still have the European qualifier. There's still a European server qualifier. That's going to be tomorrow. That is going to be here tomorrow. As we can have a look at the schedule here. You can't see it because it is technically on Monday in Korea. So Monday morning at around like 2 a.m. to around like 2 a.m. in the morning is going to be the European qualifier. We will be there. We'll be awake. We'll roll our sleep schedule and be there for those qualifiers. So don't you worry. The final European server qualifier will be tomorrow in over 24 hours on the CranKy Ducklings here on the channel. GG. And again, I'm sure we'll see Gerald. I'm sure he'll be there for that event. Meanwhile, we have our own broadcast coming up in a couple of hours at 1 a.m. KST. What do we have? We have the Anonymous Cup. Oh boy, I believe we have a new command in the chats. We'll get there, but in how many hours time? It's going to be at 1 a.m. KST. That's going to be 2 a.m. AST. That's going to be in 1.5 hours. Around? No, 2.5. Let me just double check. Yeah, sorry, 3.5. Oh my god. I was hoping this would be a little bit longer. Aye. But yes, in 3.5 hours, in 3.5 hours time, I might nap, I might sleep in between, we'll see. But in 3.5 hours time, we are going to be live on this channel with the Anonymous Cup. If you're curious, if you're going to be there, I mean, I recommend it. It's a unique tournament where the viewer can earn money. You in the chat, you can earn some money here. Now, the way that the Anonymous Cup is going to work, it's going to be a King of the Hill format. King of the Hill, 20 best of ones. It's a 2-day event. You can see on the schedule Sunday morning and Sunday evening, so it's going to be a 2-day event, of course. It's going to be in 3.5 hours and then tomorrow evening as well. The way that it works here is that we are going to have a bunch of players play on alternate IDs. We're going to have a set of players playing on alternate IDs. They're going to play in that King of the Hill format, and you in the chat, you can try to determine yourself, and it's gonna put your skills to the test when it comes to how much StarCraft you watch. Can you recognize players purely by their play style? And there's going to be a Google Doc. There's going to be a Google Doc in the chat, and you can submit your predictions. Now, it is quite strict in the sense that you cannot submit multiple times for one player. Once you lock in a prediction for a player, you're locked in. Like, you can't like spam predictions, otherwise it's going to be null. It's going to be void. So if you try like spam a bunch of predictions for a player, then you know, you're going to screw yourself over in that kind of scenario. Likewise, it is also case sensitive in the sense that you have to spell the name correctly, you have to type it correctly as well. If you're predicting a player like, I don't know, like GG Machine, GG Machine is going to be a tough one. If you're predicting a player like GG Machine, he has capital G, capital M, capital C. If you misspell it, then it's not going to count. So it is very strict in that, the Google form, I should say, is a little bit strict in that sense. So you got to make sure you're able to spell it correctly with correct capitalizations as well. Just as a heads up. And of course, it is going to be a European-centric tournament. A bunch of CIS players, probably a bunch of Polish players potentially as well, depending on who Minnovk is able to get together. But it is going to be a lot of fun. And again, you can predict, you can place your prediction on who you think each player is. And at the end of the event, at the end of the tournament, the person in the chat with the most amount of correct predictions will earn some money. You don't earn money based on like each prediction. It's the most predictions you get correct throughout the course of the event. We're going to be keeping track of viewers and their rankings in their predictions, and again, whoever comes out on top will earn some prize money. So there you go. Spelling, yes, there you go. Art versus art, true. Art versus art, true. It is spelling sensitive. I don't know if it's case sensitive, but you know, just make sure you get it correct on that sort of thing, just in case. So that's going to be in 3.5 hours. It's going to be a lot of fun. Bearing in mind that, again, it is a more European-centric, so I wouldn't be surprised if Gerald takes part in that. Minnovk, Wayne, Young Yakov, GG Machine, alongside Nickeract, Strange, and many others. Maybe Bratok. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Tonight is going to be 10 best of ones, and tomorrow is going to be another 10 best of ones. So yeah, it's a bit of a unique, fun format where the viewer can earn money. When it comes to earning money, I believe when it comes to submitting your your guess, your prediction. I think there's a slot there for like your PayPal email account, so then you can be paid out prize money if you were to, you know, in the end be the winner and have the most correct predictions. So look forward to it. Look forward to it. It's a unique format. We'll see how well it goes, and if it goes well, I'm sure we'll see more of it in the future. It's called the Anonymous Cup. The Anonymous Cup. Oh, there you go. Kuro is letting us know. Day 1, 8 CIS players and 3 European players. So already you're being given a little bit of information when it comes to predictions. So you know not to like guess a Korean or something, or guess like a North American player. When it comes to those 3 Europeans, based on like the group of players involved, like I would assume some Polish players, maybe like a Gerald, a Christianer. In my mind, like those are the kind of players that they'd bring in. But it's hard to say. Maybe a Skilless as well. Like it's hard to say. But yeah, don't know CIS plays very well. I do think that it's going to be hard to distinguish between certain players and their playstyles. I think there are certain players that are easy. Like Strange is really unique with his playstyle. I do think that, like for example, like Young Yakov and Wayne have really similar ZVZ. Like if they played a ZVZ, if we get like two Zerg players in a ZVZ, like Young Yakov and Wayne and GG Machine as well, like they're all 3 of them are really chaotic in ZVZ. Like that'll be a hard one to tell. And I guess I'll be helping a little bit as well, because for example, Wayne is really fond of all-ins and ZVP, right? Young Yakov a little bit less so. There's little things like that you can use to help you out a little bit. But there are definitely some stylistic players. Milky Cow is an animal. Like Milky Cow is hyper aggressive as a Terran, and I think he'll be a little bit easier to point out. Like comparing Milky Cow and Nicorach, like Milky Cow is more aggressive, more all in, depending on the matchup. True, depending on the matchup, because Nicorach, he's really fond of 2-base all ins in TVP, and he's really fond of some certain builds in TVZ as well. There are some tells. I think there are some tells, depending on the player. But regardless, we'll get into that in the next broadcast. For now, we're going to be wrapping up. Before I get ahead of myself talking about Secret Castle, oh, I mean, I won't know who's playing either. But like we also cast these players on a regular basis, so I can like, you know, help out, and I can like give some hints as to certain play styles that people enjoy playing and stuff. I'll get my own predictions in as well. Let's go. True. But with that, I recognize Milky Out, Skilless, Gerald, Mana, Cristiano probably, depending on the matchup. Yeah. True. But with that, we're going to be wrapping up. And again, before I get ahead of myself, if you want to support the Revival StarCraft 2 League, you can do so via the Patreon, !RSL in the chat. Bam. There you go. We do have the Patreon link for the RSL. So Revival StarCraft League, it is funded by the people for the people. I mean, there's a lot of Patreons out there, whether it's for RSL, whether it's for some of these other tournaments like us, like the CranKy Ducklings, or GSL or KSL. There's a lot of ways out there to support some grassroots StarCraft, but this is, you know, one of the big ones here. It's a big initiative by Tasteless, by State, by Gemini, by Ziggy as well. There's a lot of effort, a lot of passion put into this, so give them some love, give them some support over on Patreon, and look forward to the European qualifier tomorrow and the main event. When it comes to the main event, we most likely won't be casting it. If they hand out replays, then maybe we'll step in, right? Maybe we'll cover the replays after the fact. But I believe for the most part, they'll be hosting the event at an offline venue. I say offline venue, like offline studio. So they're gonna have like a studio broadcast, like quote unquote home story cup style, with like a couch, with everyone getting involved in Korea, of course. And I believe, depending on the support on Patreon, they're gonna fly players over for the playoffs. So ideally, they want to fly players over, like the international players that make it far, to Korea so they can compete and play offline. So it's a big initiative, and yeah, do support them over for the RSL. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Again, our next broadcast is going to be in 3.5 hours. Likewise, we have Sparkling Tunic Cup tomorrow. We have Anonymous Cup in 3 hours and tomorrow as well. And if you want us to help support the CranKy Ducklings, Patreon in the chat. We have our own Patreon as well. I know we're asking for a lot to support one tournament, support other tournaments, for sure, but it's up to you. Even just watching is good enough, right? Even just watching, even just following the channel, following us on YouTube as well, socials in the chat. You can subscribe on YouTube, you can watch us there. We do upload VODs on a daily basis, so plenty of content. We cast every day as well. You can see our schedule twice a day, almost every single day. Plenty of content on YouTube, plenty of casting. Honestly, we're overbooked. We do it like this. Up next is going to be our third broadcast for the day. So we do a lot of casting on the channel. We cast more than anyone else. We do what we can. We do what we can for StarCraft. The passion is there, baby. The passion is there. Otherwise, thanks for watching. We're going to be heading off, and again, we'll be back in 3 hours. Stick around. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. We're going to be streaming Gemini. Gemini, he was actually casting on his own channel, and Gemini is one of the big names behind the RSL, so give him some love, give him some support. We'll give Gemini a raid as he is laddering, and he's an animal. It's like, it's getting quite late in Korea, so give him some love as he's working behind the scenes. Otherwise, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Till then, hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego. See you next time.